Hello.
Oh, I know who this is. This is.
Hi, is this 201 Dead Hug?
What's that?
Is this 201 Dead Hug?
It is 201 Dead Hug. You know the numbers. Now, this guy, this is going to be tricky. This is going to take me about a half hour to explain. He's from a group called the Tenderloins. And apparently they license the Tenderloins appear on a show called Impractical Jokers. And this is the Joker this is everybody's favorite Joker. I think we could just say it. This is Sal Vulcano. How are you, Sal? It's so nice to hear your voice again.
That's all I'm thinking right now as I listen to you.
Well, I miss you so much. You're a sweetheart, and you're the Joker now when I call you a Joker, am I supposed to call you a Tenderloin who's a Joker?
I don't think there's rules, in general, and I certainly don't think there's rules for you and I.
No. Well, I'll just call you Sal. I don't need to call you a Joker or a Tenderloin.
Yeah, you can choose what you want to call me, and as long as I don't take incredible umbrage with it, I'll accept it.
Yeah. Well, you're an easygoing guy. You take it as it comes. You're kind of, because the show is like 4 personality types where you got one guy is a wacko, and then the other one is a real loose cannon, and then one is a total who knows what's going on there, and then there's you.
Yeah, it's so funny because out of those 3 descriptions, I don't know who you meant for each one.
I don't know either. I don't know. I realized that as I was saying it that I didn't know what I was talking about. Now there's a new season, Sal? New season of Impractical Jokers?
Yes, sir. It's airing right now, Thursday nights on True, season 9.
It's Tuesday, Sal.
What's that?
Sal, it's Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's airing currently.
Oh, no. Well, that goes without saying. It's True TV. The odds are there's an Impractical Jokers episode on. It's
today, Tuesday. Today, the Misery Index game show is on TBS on Tuesday night.
Okay. That's right.
No.
Yeah, because you have another show called Misery Index, which is you doing it. It's it's a fun game show.
Yeah, that's another mortgage helper. Yeah,
another mortgage helper. You still need help with the mortgage, huh? You're on TV. You're on TV 600 hours a week. Still looking for a little boost with things. Was this a side job?
Yeah, I like to say in very small increments.
Yes. What, if this is a mortgage helper, what did you negotiate? A 1-year mortgage and you got to cover the whole thing?
Yeah, I took out a 3-month mortgage.
Yeah, you got to learn they offer longer terms than that, Sal.
I'm new to the mortgage game, Tom.
Yeah. Well, so you have Impractical Jokers, and then you have the Misery Index. And then, this is how popular these guys are. There's literally a show where you watch them eat food.
Isn't
now.
That amazing?
What?
Now after that one, I think I won. Whatever.
Yeah. Now, that's when you know, in whatever previous life you were, Sal, you did some good stuff.
I did something noble, maybe.
Because now they're paying you to eat dinner on television.
No, I know. It's so funny. It's like we had the quarantine, and nobody had any new material coming out. And they asked us if we'd like to do something, maybe, from our homes. And I was like, well, we're really limited. I'm not going to start to learn how to work cameras and have all these weird deadlines and be here alone trying to do all. So I was like, why don't you just turn on cameras and we'll do like a live stream? Like, why don't we do a live stream from home? We tried to get that. And we're like, we'll just riff. I mean, everyone wants to connect right now. This was like at the height in the beginning when we didn't know if we'd ever see anything ever again.
Yeah.
We were just like, why don't we just because then we wouldn't have to prepare anything. We'll just shoot from the hip. And we'll just see where it goes. It's kind of that no net because it's live type thing. And we convinced them to do it. But then they were like, we just need to couch it as something. And I was like, look, I mean, like, why don't we get together and eat every night? Why don't we just get together and eat every night? We'll have dinner guests. We'll pick, what we're cooking for each week. People can follow along. It's a structure is all it is. It's just a structure for us.
Mm-hmm.
So they said yes. And then for we did 18, I think, of those. Well, and hoping to do some more. It might live beyond this crazy time, actually.
Sal, the Impractical Jokers are the only ones who are rooting to keep the pandemic going. They're
show for dinner.
Yeah. Otherwise he's going to start to be like, what? I got to leave the house now to do the show.
Yeah. That's basically the goal, really, right? It would be to operate every single thing just from home. If I never had to leave the house again, I might sign up for that. I'm that type of fellow.
No, there are people who are going to come out of this pandemic and they're going to just, they have gotten permission to not see anybody and they're going to go, I think I'm going to stick with that. I like how that felt. I liked how 2020 felt to kind of not see any of you face to face. I think that's me now.
I couldn't echo that more. I guess I'll give you one guess. Guess who's wearing a mask for the rest of his life?
You.
That's correct. You could have taken the guy from Mortal Kombat, but
yeah. You got a Sub-Zero vibe going on.
Are you in LA still? You are, right?
I am. Yes. Yeah. And it's like, it's exciting here and everybody's being safe, but you can still feel like it feels like a little teeny, it feels like a teeny tiny bit better, I guess, because people have a teeny tiny bit more hope, but it's still just like being in a weird, bad movie, like a bad science fiction movie. So did you film, how did you film this new season? Is this all pre-quarantine or were you shooting post? How did you do it?
We started, we had filmed we used to shoot about 26 to 30 episodes a season. We had filmed 2 when, last year on March 12th when we shut down. Mm-hmm. So we had 2 episodes in the can. And then come this November, we finally went back to shooting with all these new protocols in place, and we filmed another 8 episodes. So now we have 10 to air.
Okay. And
starting tomorrow, we start to work on the next batch of hopefully 16 episodes.
Okay.
We switch it up. There's no more just walking up to anyone and everyone at any location. It's much more now, all leaning in on appointments, waiting rooms for, all everything you can think of, interviews, focus groups, presentations, things like that.
No, it really, the ones I've seen from this current season are really funny. And the photographer one was really great, like that, doing the photo shoot in the gardens or whatever, where, when you're.
Yeah. It's a function of wanting to be distanced and even outdoors, anything we could stack in our favor for safety, everyone's tested, but then these people are coming to do these photo shoots for the day. And so it's outdoors, distance to kind of help play into that kind of thing. So if you didn't really know, our hope was that if you didn't really know it was COVID times, you wouldn't be able to really tell the episodes apart.
Sure. Yeah. I will say that this situation, what this does, it's finally safe to go to Jersey Gardens and not be bothered by the Impractical Jokers asking to watch their grandfather while they go to the bathroom. That or the mall. What's the mall out on around Nyack?
Palisades.
The mall that's slowly sinking into the ground.
Yeah.
There's this amazing mall out there that has a Ferris wheel in it. And shocking thing, it's sinking. It's built on faulty. It's like a disaster movie waiting to happen. This mall, like every year, it sinks a few inches into the ground because it's this mushy New York State soil they built it on top of. And so,
I had no idea.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know it was sinking. I was so impressed by that mall the first time we went there because I couldn't. It always seemed empty, and then someone noted, no, it's the sheer size of it. And then I realized how big it was, and I was like, I've never seen besides the Mall of America. And so we looked it up, and I think that particular mall is like one of the top 5 or 10 biggest malls in the entire country.
It's enormous. It's like 5 floors. And I'll tell you one thing. If you ever need a cell phone case, head on out to that mall. There's only about 800 kiosks selling cell phones. It's a buyer's market for cell phone cases out at that mall.
There's no barrier to entry on cell phone protection these days. I mean, think about every single color combination you've ever thought of and triple it. That's how much we're working with out there.
Yeah.
If I ever go into a mall again. So I'm happy about that. I don't love walking up to strangers. I really don't.
No, you can, and that's what makes it funny because you seem to just generally dislike almost all of it on like it's not where you live. Like, yeah. You would leave every stranger alone in real life. Like if it was not a part of a television show, it seems like you would not go up to anybody ever.
Dead on accurate.
You'd keep to yourself, and that would be that. You're not going to be just like, hey, let me ask you, can you settle a bet for me and my buddy? Can you imagine what? Imagine if you were walking through the mall and then somebody came up to you and said, hey, you want to settle a bet for me and my buddy? Wouldn't you be like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah. I would enact whatever self-defense class I took in grammar school right in that moment.
Uh-huh.
A chop or a swipe or something. I don't like being approached. Yeah.
Whoa, wait. What self-defense classes were you taught in school? What was going on at your school? Chops and swipes?
I took like 3 months of karate in 8th grade. I ended up with a white belt, double black tip, iron fist. And to tell you the truth, I don't even know if those rankings are sanctioned.
I think those sound like that sounds like if a McDonald's was selling hot dogs. Sounds like something the owner's gone rogue on that one.
Yeah, Sensei Glenn. I think, my mom got the money together. We had to buy our own gis. And then, I went there. He yelled at us for a couple of months. I did jumping jacks, and I don't know how I got the black tips. I don't think I have any discernible karate skills. But
you don't think you do?
I remember, some standard kicks.
Okay, so in a pinch, you think you could break out like a half decent kick?
If I had to employ karate in a pinch, I mean, it's going to be slightly better than the average human's kick.
Yeah.
Because I'll probably pull on just a small bit of the technique I learned. But honestly, I feel like if I spoke to you about it for like a minute or two, you'd be able to pull off the same kicks that I did. There's nothing special in my kick.
Sure. Now, I know that you're not by nature a self-promoter of a self-promoting guy. You're a pretty head down kind of fella. What would you be more likely to do if you were confronted with some guy wanted to throw down and wanted to tussle with you? Would you be more apt to say, to break out to try a karate kick, or to go, I'm Sal from Impractical Jokers, I'm on television? Yeah. Like, neither of them seem like a move you would make. Which one would you do more? Would you do first?
out of those two, I'd probably avoid violence. I'm not a tough fellow. I'm not a tough man. I wouldn't want to hit anyone. I'm until the last minute that I have to be physical with someone. I probably wouldn't be, unless of course someone's bullying someone, or I'm more apt to I'm more apt to pull out a karate kick I was half-assed taught in 1989 if someone's bothering someone that I know.
Sure.
So than myself. Yeah.
For me, I would intervene if it was somebody else. If it was me, I think I would either, I would say like, hey, did you ever watch the show Monk? I wrote for that show. Like, see if that moved the needle at all. Just like, I'd play any card I could play.
That's funny. So someone's about to get into a physical altercation with you, and you say, I wrote for the show Monk. I love that.
Yeah. I would just hope that their parents liked it. And then I'd be like, maybe I'll get you Tony Shalhoub's autograph. Give me your information. Then I'd take that information right to the police.
Oh, that would if that came full circle in that way, like they were going to assault you, but then they held off. You kept them at bay with the promise of Tony Shalhoub's autograph.
Yeah.
And that led the police to them.
They give me a mailing address to send them the headshot to. And then I just walk that right to the police. I go, yeah, this guy was going to beat the crap out of me.
Wasn't there a scene like that? It might have been like Serpico, where they did a sting operation where they invited all these people they knew that were like, you know, I don't know if they were in the mafia or they used illegal guns or something, and they invited them to like this Yankee or this baseball signing, and all these criminals showed up and they just arrested all of them.
I think that sounds like the plot of the Jerry Reed, Suzanne Plachette, Dom DeLuise movie, Hot Stuff.
Does it? Maybe I'm confusing my movies.
It's either Serpico or the Dom DeLuise movie, Hot Stuff. It's either a legendary New York movie that every kid had not anymore, had like a Serpico poster on their wall. At least in movies they would. There'd always be some like kid would have a, didn't John Travolta have a Serpico poster on his wall in Saturday Night Fever?
Oh, did he? That would be fitting. He might have. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah. I had it on VHS. Like
you'd picture him going to you picture him at the mall going to Spencer's Gifts, and he's like, you got a Serpico poster? You got any posters in Serpico?
It's so funny to think that his character in Saturday Night Fever idolized a whistleblowing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He was he's a big fan of whistleblowers.
Yeah. He's like, I like two things: disco and justice.
I like two things. I like internal investigations at the police with the police department, internal investigations for corruption inside the force, and dancing.
I love the hustle and not getting hustled.
Yes, that's exactly it. The hustle and the not hustle.
Yeah.
Now, are you
how pleasant it is to also dial into a show and have a phone conversation with someone, as opposed to having to, because I'm in pajamas right now, like as opposed to having to, I don't know if you're doing Zooms because you might.
No, not really.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm into it so much. To not have to see you. No offense to, I would love to see you, but to not have people see me is what I'm saying.
Right. Exactly.
Now, the movie industry has more or less collapsed since March, which I feel leaves a wide path for one of the final movies that aired in theaters in 2020, and the Oscar nominations are coming up soon. Is there any chance the Impractical Jokers movie gets nominated for Oscars?
There is absolutely no chance, is what my gut tells me. But for shits and giggles, there was only like 100 movies. So like all the mailers went out, and I have people, friends in all the guilds sending me screenshots of them checking the box for us.
Mm-hmm.
They were always if it was every year, Tom.
Oh my! Could you imagine if for some reason the ballots came in so light, and your friends and people who enjoyed the movie also, not just your friends, but people who were fans of it and saw it in a theater, and suddenly what if that was the worst thing that happened to you guys? Because now all of a sudden, what if one of you got nominated for Best Actor?
Oh God!
Imagine what it would do to the group if Murr got nominated for Best Actor. Oh, and none of the other three of you didn't.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
So that would change the chemistry of everything.
Oh man, I could. He would be too. I mean, he'd be an Academy Award-winning actor. I don't keep time with those types.
What if he won? And the winner, and the award for Best Actor goes to James Murray, Impractical Jokers movie, and he gets up there, and what if he doesn't even thank you guys?
That would be the best possible scenario.
He thanks his agent.
Would be the most funny, memorable thing I could imagine.
Yeah, that would be the greatest moment in movie history. Would be Murr from Impractical Jokers winning Best Actor for the Impractical Jokers movie and completely blowing off the Impractical Jokers in his acceptance speech.
I'll go a step further. I would beg him to do that if you want. I think that's so funny. Here's my pledge to you. If by some crazy chain of events something happens, and we've had a lot of ballot stuff happening this year. If something happens where I am accepting an award for Best Actor, I think that we should write I would love to have you as a partner to help me write the acceptance speech, and I would go off the reservation with it. We could really do whatever you like, and I promise that's what I'll do.
Please, I would do that inside. But the thing is, if somebody won an award, it would have to just be a punishment on an episode of the show to go up and read what the other three wrote.
We would be missing an opportunity if we didn't do that, right? We should do that, save it for sweepstakes. Yeah.
The ultimate punishment would be to have to be at a major awards show and read thank yous that you did not write. So, Sal Vulcano, you also have 8 podcasts now. You turn around, suddenly you are responsible for 4% of the podcasts in existence. You have your name on. Tell everybody about these podcasts you have.
Sure. It came out of, I had a podcast years ago. I think Q and I started in like 2012 or 2013. Q being Brian Quinn from my show. We did a podcast called What's
Not Q, the head of QAnon. You did not do a podcast. Oh, is he rethinking that nickname now?
That's so funny. Yeah, all of a sudden his nickname's not too,
not so much, not fun, not as fun as it might have been.
Yeah. I should stop QAnon.
So you guys did a podcast called, what was it called? What Say You?
Yeah, What Say You? It was stuff, the shit and stuff, but it was a lot of fun. But our schedules got tough, and it went away. So I don't have that one anymore. But for the last couple of years, I've been meaning to start one up, and then being home and everything, I kind of was like, yeah, this is the right time. I have a lot of time to myself. I want to do something just completely autonomous that is just like out of my home with zero influence from anywhere else. And I also want to have work and be able to do something that can't get canceled. When I say canceled, I don't mean canceled in the cancel culture way, but just something that I control when it begins and ends and things like that. So I started 2 podcasts with 2 friends, and one's called Taste Buds. And I do it with my buddy Joe DeRosa, and it's it was something that we've been doing for years, and we were just like, this is fun. This is escapism podcasting, Tom. We're not controversial or edgy over here.
No, but you take it. It might as well. You might as well be debating like a court case the way you guys are going at it.
We debate. Basically, we put powerhouse foods against each other, and we debate them with vim and vigor for a good 30, 40 minutes. And at the beginning of the podcast, we put up a poll on Twitter right now, and then we'll say like something like Oreo versus Chips Ahoy, or lasagna versus chicken parmesan, or what have you, anything and everything, jelly donut versus Boston cream, and we argue these sides.
Go ahead, sorry.
Really, they're knockdown arguments. They're knockdown, drag out arguments, but they're just over food. And
give me one, and let me see where I would land on it.
Okay. Let's see. We've recorded like 20 eps so far. I'm going to pull up the episode list right here. So where would you land on? Okay, this was a big fight a couple of weeks ago. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich versus a grilled cheese sandwich.
I mean, that's so hard. It's like apples and oranges. I guess I would always go with a grilled cheese sandwich.
Really?
I like grilled cheese sandwiches a lot. I do like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches too. That's a coin flip for me.
Well, that's kind of where what makes a good episode. We kind of try to get in there where people have really strong opinions about something, or they're so close, and you have
to break it down.
Yeah, you kind of like coax a debate out of people, because if it is a toss up, you really get them thinking.
Yeah. I guess I would say, look, peanut butter and jelly feels so much more limited. A grilled cheese sandwich you could have soup with it, and that's fun. Okay. Everybody likes soup.
Could do that, but we're really arguing the merits of the sandwiches on their own, Tom.
Sure. Okay. Well, then I'm
with my peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. Look, I truly get it now. Now I'm actually upset by this. I went from thinking it was just like, they argue about their dumb stuff, and now I'm legitimately torn about how I feel about this. But Oreo versus Chips Ahoy, I mean, it's like, if you're talking like a standard Oreo over a Chips, I would go with an Oreo over a Chips Ahoy.
As would I. I don't understand who would go with a Chips Ahoy these days.
Oh, the weirdo Joe DeRosa, I guess, clearly would.
What about Chewy Chips Ahoy?
Chewy Chips Ahoy, Pat, you're saying? That just feels like, then I might as well I would counter that with double stuff.
Oh, okay. Fair point.
Yeah, if you want to bring in the full product line, Pat, you're really going to open a can of worms, and it's fine. Sometimes during the debate, we allow the breadth of the product line, and sometimes we just want to specify that it's the original going head-to-head with the original.
Mm-hmm.
There are many facets to the argument. Sometimes we go product-specific, like we'll do Doritos versus combos, but a lot of times we go generic, like everything bagel versus cinnamon raisin bagel, or ice cream sandwich versus chipwich, or pancakes versus waffles, and so on and so forth.
Now, why don't people, and I mean, I guess the answer would be if you just go to a bagel place and you pick out which bagels you want. If you went to like the supermarket, for example, and they had like bagels, and like they don't sell like combo packs ever. Like, why, if they're going to sell 6 bagels, it's like, I don't want 6 cinnamon raisin bagels. I would want like 2 poppy, 2 something else, and then maybe 2 cinnamon raisin or some kind of sweet bagel on the way out. But I can't. What am I supposed to do with 6 of those things?
You're not supposed to do anything. You have a legitimate gripe. I agree with you. That's why I only go to bagel stores.
Yeah.
But
now,
you ever do this phenomenon when you were like, maybe, I know when I was a kid, sometimes my mom had a cookie jar, and sometimes she used to co-mingle cookies in that thing. And I swear to you that if they were in there for a while with a closed top, when I took out one cookie, it would have the taste profile of another cookie.
Oh, you're completely right. First of all, the whole thing would get ruined by some dumb cookie getting thrown in would ruin all the other cookies. Like some weird gritty like vanilla Oreo would get all over everything. And now you got vanilla Oreo dust hanging all over all the cookies. Or Nilla wafer dust would be the real offender.
Oh, yeah. Nilla would come in there and sprinkle its Nillaness everywhere.
Yeah, and then they get soft prematurely, and next thing you know, you just deal with a jar of stale cookies.
Yes, that's exactly right. They do get soft, especially when you commingle them. They get all like just flaky. I don't know what it is.
Sometimes like a cookie gets soft and it's gross, and then sometimes a cookie gets real dried out, and it's like, it's still all right. It's a weird phenomenon.
Yeah.
But this podcast is now I'm hooked. And taste buds.
Yeah. We do
and then
versus lemonade, egg salad versus tuna salad. It's fun. It's like easy. We argue for like a half hour. It's like just, take your mind off stuff, a few laughs. It's been received really well. People, what I found is we recorded, I didn't want to like have to promote two separate places to go for the podcast. The other podcast is called Hey Babe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's with another comic named Chris Stefano. And that one is much more freeform. But we were like, I didn't want to tell people like, go here for this, go here for that. So what we ended up doing was just putting them both in one destination, at least on YouTube. We made a channel called No Presh. So we just tell people go to No Presh because we were going to do other projects and everything. So we're like, just go to there. It has both things. And yeah, so we just kind of did it that way. And I don't know, man. It's been so much fun.
That's awesome. And please tell me you would pick tuna over egg salad.
You put me in the
no.
I don't ever want to let you down. But I feel that I'm much more weary of tuna salad than I am egg salad at any given moment. A good tuna salad is good, but a bad tuna salad could pull me away from tuna for life. I feel like there's both a mayonnaise component, which is a very polarizing ingredient.
Yeah.
And I don't know. People are adverse to eggs and people are adverse to tuna. So this was a very controversial episode as it was. A lot of people were like, this is the first time I hate both. But
look, a bad tuna salad will turn you off from tuna. A bad egg salad will put you in the hospital.
Don't you think a bad tuna will put you in the hospital too?
I just picture like a egg salad sitting out in a picnic all day. That's all I picture, getting sweaty. And makes me want to throw up. Yeah,
we could discuss the merits of the food being left out all day in the sun.
Yeah, well, that's true. I guess I'm assigning some pretty severe conditions to the. Look, they're both. It's a disaster if either of them is sitting out in the sun. To be fair, you're right. It's not like this tuna tastes a little better when it sits out all afternoon. So you don't like egg salad at all? Because I really do like it when it's not overly creamy. That's gross. I would have egg salad occasionally if it made sense at I wouldn't mind in the right circumstances a deviled egg.
Okay, yeah.
But I can't. But you ever go through the grocery store, even like a fancy grocery store, and they have like deviled eggs pre-made, and you're just like, yeah, I would never order that in a million years. I'd never pick that up at a grocery store, even like a gourmet place. It would be like, I don't trust it.
You can't, because it's one of those things that even after like a half hour, it gets this weird like coating over it.
Yeah, like a weird filmy kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Now, Sal, I have an idea for a show, and you guys have the huge deal that you back the money truck up to hand everything to the tenderloins. Now, here's the idea for the show. We need an angel on this. It's called Staten Island Garbage Rats. And
I think I've heard of this one for a long time.
Oh, it's been around for a long time. I've been waiting for somebody to get a deal that could bring this to life.
It's off the shelf?
We're dusting this one off. We shoot it. It's me, Jason and Pat and Mike from the show, and then maybe a couple other people. And we pick through a garbage dump on Staten Island. Like you, how about this? You roll up at the beginning of every episode. You're like, hey, garbage rats, here's, I need you to find me a panini maker. See how many panini makers you can find me. And then we start just digging through the trash of like Arthur Kill or whatever the best garbage dump is out there on Staten Island. And then it's just us in the filth trying to pull together whatever challenge you put in front of us. Like, and then you come back and you total up what we found.
Okay. I have questions.
Sure.
Okay, so it's the four of you. The dump has been closed down, but I'm sure we still have garbage deposit.
Even more of a challenge.
Yeah,
thank you, Pat. Yeah. Look, then we'll go get an old scooper dig. You scoop two layers out and you're hitting old bicycles on that hill on Staten Island.
Okay. So it's the four of you. Are you all independently against each other? Are you on teams? Are you working together?
Teams of two.
Teams of two, like Pat said. And Pat's enthusiastic about this. I like this.
Yeah, I believe me. I will ask you a million questions. We'll get to the bottom, and we'll see if this is viable.
Okay.
Are you constantly against the same two people? Are you switching it up weekly?
I think that it'll bracket off so that there's a point system, and whoever in the teams of two, even within the teams, had the highest points. That means that the following week, the highest scores team up against the lowest scores. So the teammates could change, could alternate.
Well, what about this, Pat and Sal? Or I want to show respect to our EP on this, of course, Sal Vulcano. What if it's the four of us and then two celebrities each week? Like we bring in then suddenly it's like, oh, now we've got Kyle MacLachlan is digging through Kyle MacLachlan's looking for he's fishing through looking to see if he can find like a dictionary or an encyclopedia set.
Panini Press.
Sarah McLaughlin or Kyle MacLachlan?
What if we do Sarah versus Kyle opening episode?
Now I like this. Now it's McLaughlin versus McLaughlin on either side.
Yeah.
I also think Sal should actually roll up in the beginning of every episode on a motorcycle or like a really cool car, and actually toss us from a distance, like a manila folder or something like that. And we actually have to, and you basically give us a clue. Like if it's a blender, as Tom said, it's like hope you guys can mix this episode together. And we're like, what? And you ride off. And then we have to open the envelope frantically, put together the clues just to figure out what we're digging for. And then the clock starts.
What if that's the opening challenge, kind of like on Top Chef, how they have that quick fire challenge? So we have to do some, like a quick trash challenge, and then get to the real one.
Okay, so what function would the quick trash challenge serve to get to the opening one? What would you win by winning the quick trash challenge?
You might have an advantage. You'd have an advantage in terms of what sector of the garbage dump you can work from, maybe.
Yeah.
What sector? Okay. So got it. So now, and then would I confirm for you? Like, what if you read it and you're like, oh, mix it up, and then you come looking for a mixer and not a blender? Do I tell you this, or are you just looking for something completely in vain? And then Tom's going for you never had a shot then.
Well, I think you're watching. We'll just do something where you're watching from like a monitor and look, you'll shoot all this stuff in a block. We're asking for 2 days of shooting for you.
Tops.
we're gonna shoot you out so fast on this thing, Sal. Your head's gonna spin. All you got to do is bring a bunch of changes of clothes to set. That way, when you roll up and you're like, "Good afternoon, garbage rats," you're wearing like a different outfit each time.
Now, bring 5 jackets. That's it. Just 5 jackets.
Just zip them up over you have the same T-shirt on underneath.
Yeah, these are the tricks I do at the show now.
Oh, yeah, I watch. I see the tricks you're doing.
Okay, what are you ultimately playing for here? What is the play? Are you playing for money for yourselves? Are you playing for bragging rights weekly? What happens? How long are we watching you just aimlessly search through garbage? Is it the full 22 minutes?
Well, what if? Well, 22 is a little limiting. I was hoping each episode would be 3 hours long. But,
so you want to do something groundbreaking?
It's event television.
Yes. Now, I would think the losers have to sleep in the dump for the night,
and the winner gets off of Staten Island.
I was not prepared for there to be this many moving parts. There is a lot. I think I need you guys to make a show Bible first.
Yeah. I like this went from you thinking we were going to throw one sentence at you that was the title, and you were going to go ha ha, to just being like, hey, simplify this. What
happened to my chimp?
Oh, that's right. Mike has a chimp also.
Yeah, named Cuddles.
Cuddles. I forgot about the chimp.
Well,
and
Sal McLaughlin's going to be okay with that.
Yeah, Kyle McLaughlin. We were just like, we got bad news. The chimp mauled Kyle McLaughlin. Cuddles attacked Kyle McLaughlin.
Sarah McLaughlin on hand to do the charity song for it.
Yeah. Yes, she'll sing that. Is that her going in the arms of an angel? Right?
Yes. In the arms of a garbage rat, really.
In the arms of a garbage rat. And the thing, whenever that commercial comes on, by the way, I would be like, I already donate money to animal shelters. Why do I have to see this? Why am I not exempt from this commercial?
Can I ask you guys, if I could just summarize what we have so far? So random teams are selected to face each other in a garbage hunt that's 3 hours long. Kyle McLaughlin and Sarah McLaughlin will join and be assigned to respective teams.
On the pilot.
Mike has a chimp that will also be helping. I speed up in a motorcycle or some type of cool car. I'll have a change of clothes, try jacket. I'll then give you some haphazard clue that will have a hint on what you're searching for the quick trash challenge. I will leave you 6 to your own devices while I watch from monitors somewhere on the property.
Yeah.
When one of you pulls the proper quick trash challenge, that will give you some sort of leg up in the following 2 hour and 40-minute garbage hunt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll set you up at
the most
Pasticceria Bruno. You'll be sitting there.
I love when you give me Staten Island references.
You'll be sitting there.
I also think it would be great if Sal was clearly like his green room situation. Whenever it cuts to that camera, is clearly getting better and better, and we are just getting more and more covered in garbage.
It's clear the money is, and just partway through the season, we start to question the budgeting of the show and where the money's being allocated. We start to realize, man, I think this Sal's taking us for a ride on this thing.
Well, let me ask you, how much do you think, what are we budgeting per episode here? What do you think our overhead is?
Well, look,
one thing. I would love you guys to have like cool, like varsity style jackets that say the garbage rats on them. Maybe a blue team, something like that. We got a brand.
Yeah, I would like that, so that we could put that in the budget. What if you're just like, guys, I tried to get you the jackets, the money just isn't there. For the I tried to move heaven and earth. I was screaming at them. I'm telling you, I was screaming at them. I was like, if they don't have the jackets, we can't do it. But they're really just digging their heels in on it. They really are fighting the jackets.
And we imagine that was the only thing holding the show up.
The 4 jackets. Well, a chimp-sized jacket also. I would hope Cuddles would be wearing.
Oh, boy, guys.
And it would be the kind of thing where, like, you'll get involved and then suddenly they'd be like, I'm going to go back to the Taco Bell. I'm going to go back to the Taco Bell viewing center. Like, it just product names everywhere you turn on the thing.
Right, the Quicken Loans. The Jamba Juice Video Village.
Yeah, I'm going back. I'm going to get back on my. Yeah, you'll be like, I'm going to go get back on my my GameStop dirt bike and ride back to the Quicken Loans Video Village and have an ice cold Sprite.
This might be the only way that we get this even off the ground. Corporate sponsorship.
Yeah,
it's just so unorthodox. 5 3-hour episodes is tough.
But then there will also be those times like you love in any reality show where something goes wrong and producers have to run out and it gets really serious. Mm-hmm. Like, one of us would get stabbed by like an old knife or a, garden tool.
Yeah.
Think of
no tetanus shots. Nothing.
No tetanus shots would be like, and then it'll be like, on a special episode of Staten Island Garbage Rats, the Garbage Rats say goodbye to an old friend. And you just see a chopper airlifting one of us out of the.
Actually, it's a big drone. It's not even
a giant drone. The Garbage Rats say goodbye to one of their own. And yeah.
Maybe we could have a guest star distributing tetanus shots.
Yeah.
You have to earn points to get a tetanus shot.
Ooh, that's nice. Instead of a lightning round, you could have like a tetanus round.
Yeah.
And what if an episode came down to where it's like, you're like, I want you guys to make a 5-course meal out of things at the dump. Like, you need to find cooking supplies and food at the dump and then cook a meal. The 2 teams have to cook their competing 5-course dinners.
And we have to bring this to Danino's. And then, there'll be conflict with the Danino's staff when we bring this garbage into their kitchen.
I don't like, what's Danino's? What side deal with Danino's?
Sal knows Danino's.
I do. I love them, but I'm thinking big picture. I think if we get this to where we need to be, Danino's needs us. We don't need Danino's.
There you go. Exactly.
Sorry, I am having a hard time wondering why you guys would want to do this. Is this just like, competitive fun? Like, because I want you to want to be there because that'll translate onto the screen.
Well, I was hoping the opening thing would say like, warning. For example, what if it's just like, there's a show about four guys just busting each other's chops in America's biggest garbage dump.
Okay.
Now, I'm hoping you'll walk this into HBO Max.
You know what's so funny? We have all these pitches coming up scheduled. Oh my God! I wish you were here in New York, Tom, because like. I feel like I really would, for the sake of this bit and your show and fun. And just my favorite thing is committing to a joke. It's the level of commitment that a joke takes. The higher it is, the more I hold that joke in high esteem. I would have you meet me, and I don't care. I would waste their time and I would pitch this and have them look at us like we're absolutely crazy because they're gonna do that to like 99% of the ideas anyway.
Yeah. What if the worst nightmare was it went and they're just like, and they're like, hey guys, we're only going to go with one of your ideas, the garbage dump one. And then you're like, that one wasn't real. Like you're thinking to yourself, that's not a real idea. Oh no. We really like the garbage dump one.
Fast forward to season 11.
Yeah.
Which is
then it would.
garbage in our 60s.
Yeah. And then True TV is literally just alternating episodes of Impractical Jokers and Staten Island Garbage Rats. And then we'd have a show, we'd get, JC, Chazé to host our after show. Right. Garbage Rats, like after the dump.
I do feel like Staten Island Garbage Rats really does have a ring to it. For some reason, it's endearing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I think you might have blown the doors off. I think you might have opened the idea up a little when you said that, oh, maybe it's just the next week it's us, what did you say, cooking. Like maybe it's not every week you're not just going to look for a blender for 3 hours. Maybe it's just, the garbage rats are there, the garbage dump is there, but every week there's some type of new journey you guys take and you learn new things about yourselves.
Well, that sounds good. It would be like if you drop the comic book guys into a garbage dump.
Right, exactly. Yeah, let's just take different ideas that already exist and put them on top of a heaping mountain, a garbage dump that you can see from outer space.
Okay. And Sal, I'm just going to say this. The other three guys can't hear me now. They are, I don't want to say expendable. But I'm not married to any of them being on this if that's a make or break thing. So we can always swap. Me being involved is important, and I guess the chimp also. Those are the two elements. I think those are the two that are those are non-starters if those went away. So, but beyond that, everything's up for discussion.
Can I make one suggestion? I'd like to bring you guys into the meeting as the Staten Island Sewer Rats, like a preformed thing. Like that's already your identity.
Like, so we act like this has been happening for a while. I like you guys are like a social club, whatever.
You're a ragtag group of guys, great guys that pal around. You don't really care where, as long as it's in and around refuse. And you got a club, you got matching jackets. And, whatever happens. And, it's going to be 3 hours at a clip.
Why don't we start an Instagram and buy 10K followers so that we walk in seeming that we already have some sort of established
fan base. No, we'll, that's a plan. All right. I feel good about this.
I love that. You should start a little guerrilla campaign for you guys right now as the identity of Staten Island Garbage Rats. Maybe get yourself a logo. I'm sure there's a talented listener out there that if you haven't done it already.
Great exposure.
Yeah, no, we can't pay anybody, but you'll get a great exposure. That's always the
great exposure. Yeah,
that's the greatest thing. It's just like everybody's going to see this, and I get paid every week.
Yeah, we're going to make money, but you're not.
That is always the great moment where it's just like, hey, you get a paycheck every week, right? It's like, oh yeah, no, I wouldn't do any of this if I wasn't getting paid weekly, but you're the one taking a flyer on everything. Well, look, Sal.
I could see myself walking in there and going, you guys are not going to believe who I got right now. Who's about to come in here. You just are like, I have behind that door right now, ready to walk in and pitch to you. I got him. It's the Staten Island Garbage Rats.
Yeah.
And you guys come in like four Fonzies.
That'd be the greatest. And the other part is that there'd be one person in the meeting going like, oh, I know these guys, Staten Island Garbage Rats. And then you'd go like, you have no idea what you're talking about. We made all this up.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah. The one person trying to act like, oh, I know who these guys are. This is cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Sal, I know you're busy. I know you got stuff to get back to.
Tom, I'm in my pajamas and I'm going to go to bed. But yes.
Good. Well, look, first of all, I love you. I love
you.
Everything you do. You're one of the funniest guys going, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited that the show is coming back.
Yes.
And I will see you at a home base. We'll figure out where base camp is, and then I'll see you out by the trailers for Staten Island garbage rats. And you just picture when you're driving on Staten Island, you see a sign that's yellow with black lettering that tells you to guide you towards set, and it just says rats, and like it has an arrow, so make a right. Like when you're trying to find where the production is located for the day. So
I like all this. I when you guys come back here this way, if and when, let's shoot like a fake, like 1 minute trailer for it.
Okay.
Get a
Let's do
little
it.
and bring it in.
We're going to do it. Well, Sal, you're a sweetheart.
I really do. This was like the highlight of this was great. All you guys. I
great.
really miss you guys.
Well, you're awesome. I miss you too. We will talk very soon.
Right on. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks, Sal.
Thanks, buddy.
Take care.
Got it. Bye.
Man, that's a nice guy.
It's rats with a Z, right?
I don't know. Rats with a Z.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's classic rats, Mike.
The Best Show is produced in partnership with the Forever Dog Podcast Network. The show is hosted by Tom Scharpling and features John Worster, Jason Gore, Pat Byrne, and Michael Lisk. The show is produced and written by Jason Gore, Pat Byrne, Michael Lisk, John Worster, and Tom Scharpling. The Best Show is executive produced by Tom Scharpling, Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. The show is engineered and mastered by Andrew Gleason, website and technical support provided by Martine Sellis, and the show is recorded at Forever Dog Studios in Los Angeles. Support The Best Show on Patreon over at patreon.com/thebestshow, and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram over at Best Show 4 Life. That's Best Show number 4 Life. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.